All books mentioned in this video are available to borrow from archive.org for free. Links in description.
I'm going to be channeling my inner Casey Neistat for this video because the sun is coming in directly in my eyes and it just makes me look like 10 times cooler. It's only appropriate in a video about being wise that I do a very unwise thing and I dangle my phone precariously off this ledge. And you're just going to have to take my word for it because I'm not tilting my camera down, but we are currently 4 stories up in the air, so if my phone falls over, bad things are gonna happen. You ever heard the saying, knowledge is power? Knowledge. Like, ever? There's a reason that you've heard it, because it's true. Knowledge is power. College would not be such a huge money-making industry if that was not true. And I bet you money, you have learned something today to make you stronger. And I mean, think about it. Like even the smallest things like that you go throughout your day learning. Like maybe you just learned about this really awesome new YouTube channel that you want to subscribe to and leave a comment and like. That is powerful. I consider myself a person that recognizes the power of knowledge, or at least is becoming someone who does. And as an English major, as a journalism major in college, I had to do a lot of reading. I read a lot of books. Some people would even say I majored in book. You know, we all want to be wise, but maybe we want to make sure that we're getting our information from the correct sources. Instead of just taking it from me, I'm going to direct you to some books that are going to make you wise. These are my 3 books that will make you wiser. The first book that I'm going to recommend for somebody who wants to be wise is this: The Richest Man in Babylon. This book is cheap, this book is short, and this book is jam-packed with info. The Richest Man in Babylon is all about money, the green, the thing that makes the world go around. The thing that's really cool about The Richest Man in Babylon is that it takes ancient knowledge about managing finances, or what they refer to as gold, and it packages it into a format that is easy to understand and enjoyable to read. So it's not like reading like an economics textbook talking about like the supply and demand curve and the micro and the macro economics and none of that stuff. So instead, this book focuses on general things that you as an individual can do to become rich, because let's face it, we all want money, right? I feel like the common notion that this book challenges is that like rich people are rich because they got lucky, but that's not true. This book sort of asserts that there are like 5 common rules to managing your gold, or your money as it is. It describes them in parables. Instead of it being very like dense financial language, it's all packaged into a story that's set in ancient Babylon. So not only is it informative, but it's also enjoyable to read, and it's a really quick read. I mean, like I showed you here, I mean, this is how big the book is, and it's only like, I think there's 7 or 8 chapters in here. You could pour over this in like an evening. One of my favorite bits of knowledge from this book is this question that it asks, where it says, would you rather have a bag full of gold or a tablet full of knowledge? Now, for all you iPad kids out there, you may have chosen the tablet, but for everybody else, I imagine you might have gone with a giant bag full of gold. Somebody's super loud car just drove by. But what this book says is that if you have the knowledge to make gold for yourself, then why would you need the gold in the first place? Because let's face it, if you get a lot of extra money, all of a sudden, what do? You go out and spend extra money, and then you're broke again. So just like anything else, it's important to acknowledge that this is not like get-rich-quick advice, but it helps you kind of have a very healthy mindset going forward talking about your finances. The advice has been perennial. I mean, it literally existed since ancient times, and it still is applicable today. Yeah, it says here on the copy, 4 million copies sold. 4 million. How many books sell that many? There's nobody likes book anymore. They all just like video game. The second book to help you become wiser is none other than As a Man Thinketh. And before we even begin with this, I need to make the clarification that this book is not just for men. The title is actually based on an old proverb that says, as a man thinketh in his mind, so is he. This book had such an impact on me when I read it for the first time that it became a tradition that I would read this at the start of every semester in college. It looks like a thicker volume, I know, but my copy is 2 books in one. The As a Man Thinketh is less than 50 pages, and it's 50 very small pages. So I've routinely read this in an evening before, and it's definitely very doable. As a Man Thinketh makes this comparison that says that your thoughts control your reality, and it compares it to a garden. Your mind is the garden in this analogy, and the crop that you raise is the result of your thoughts. Are you somebody that has an inner dialogue that's pretty condescending to yourself? Or you one of those people that make jokes about like, oh, I'm gonna off myself whenever something goes bad? Those can be example of bad seeds that you're planting, and they're gonna result in bad crops. Something that I really like about this book too is the way that it describes the effect our environment has on us. A lot of people think that they are victims of the circumstances that they're in and that there's nothing they can do about it. Oh, that's just the way things are. But this book kind of explains that if you are somebody that has those good thoughts and minds and you're driven to be determined and grow in every way that you can, there's nothing that's going to be able to hold you back. The one thing that I will say about this book though is that it makes a lot of assumptions about the mind's effect on the body, which in some cases is applicable, but I didn't see it being entirely relevant. It says that your health is a direct outcome of your thoughts, which I mean in some cases can be true, but like for me, I'm a type 1 diabetic, so it's like, did my mind give me type 1 diabetes? No, it's an autoimmune thing. It happens, all right? For those reasons, I don't take every sentence of this book for true. I kind of, take it with a grain of salt, but there's a lot of wisdom that you can get out of like every line of this book. Throughout the process of reading this book, I've gone through and underlined different passages that I found especially impactful to me. And so even when I want to go through and just do a short read of this book, I'll go through and read the highlights. And even that is enough to inspire me to get my mind in the right place to do big things. If I want to succeed, all I got to do is put my mind to it. The final book that I'm going to recommend to make you wise is The Defining Decade. So this is probably one of the thicker volumes on this list here, but it's an easier read because it's got some large text and I feel like it flies by really. This book I would especially recommend for anybody that is in their 20s.
No shit!
Because it has so much good information about how you should be living your life now rather than in the future. So like, tell me if this story sounds familiar. So say we've got our recent college grad. They still have some of their party habits from college and they're still kind of working through becoming a full adult, and there's sort of a mindset of like, I'll do it later. Consistently in the book, it goes back to this comparison of 30 is the new 20, where it's like, I don't really have to live my life until I'm 30. But this book kind of challenges that notion, saying that like you should take action in your life now rather than waiting, because by the time that you wait, it's going to be too late. So the book was written by a therapist that often dealt with people in their 20s, and she explains a lot of common problems that those people experience in this time in their lives, and it provides a lot of really good solutions to those issues. One of the solutions that stuck with me was of this girl who wanted to go home to her family in Tennessee, but she had moved to California for work. She came into this therapist all the time and was saying like, I wish I could go home, I wish I could go back. And finally the therapist was like, why don't you? And it sounds like a simple enough solution, but really the moral of that message is like, you should be doing what you want now. You shouldn't be waiting on like, in the future things will be better, because now you're an adult, you're 20, you're not a teenager anymore. You should be in charge of your life and you should be doing what you want. These are my recommendations for 3 books to make you wise, and I really do recommend them all, and I hope that you would consider checking them out. You guys with the Amazon Prime, you could order these up and send them to your house in like 2 days. If you made it to this point in the video, you've got to be pretty invested. There's no point in watching this video if you didn't want to follow through with it. So what do you say you pick one of these titles and you go ahead and get it from the library, get it from Amazon, pirate it, I don't care. Maybe don't pirate. For legal reasons, that's a joke. For legal reasons, that's a joke. But go ahead and pick up one of these books and check it out and let me know if I got it right. What did you think of the book? Was I completely stupid? Did it not make you wiser at all? Did it actually decrease your IQ? It may very well happen. And if you have decided to check out these books, or if you had read them already, I would really appreciate hearing your thoughts about them down below. And if there's any other books you guys want me to talk about, let me know. I mean, like I said, I majored in book. Make sure to drop the like, drop a subscribe, drop a comment. You know the drill. You know the drill. And I'm gonna get my phone off this ledge before it falls over. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right. Oh my goodness, I did it. I did it. See, I wasn't lying. That's what we're working with here.